A.B. Wells describes an experience she had one time. The great overland bus came to a stop. I looked out of the window to see the fringe of a small town. On the other side of the highway, pasture land stretched in many rolling acres. Cattle nibbled at the grass made green by recent rains. Suddenly, I turned from that peaceful scene to see the reason for our stop. One lone passenger entered. The young man, hesitating a bit, looked shyly around. Noting the vacant place beside me, he asked haltingly, "Do you mind if I sit here?" "Not at all," I answered. "I like company when I travel. Do sit down." He removed his cap and slid into the seat. After a moment, he inquired, "Going far, lady?" "Only as far as Fort Worth. That is my home," I replied. "We will be there in a little less than an hour." "Think of that," he said, with a seeming air of relief. "I've been hoping I'd run into someone from there. Don't know much about the place. I grew up on a ranch far out beyond where I boarded the bus. I'm on my way to Fort Worth, but I don't know how to find the school once I'm there." "What school is that? Maybe I can help you," I said. "It's that real big school. College, I guess you would call it." Then he went on gravely, "You see, I'm just out of the Army, and I'll get to start school. Servicemen can go, you know, and Uncle Sam pays for it." "You'll be a student at Texas Christian University?" I asked. "Oh, I don't know just where they'll send me, but I'm all excited over having the chance to go at all. You see, I didn't have much schooling as I grew up, but before I get started anywhere, I have to go to the Fort Worth school and take what they call an attitude test. After I take it, they will know where to send me." "Poor dear," I mused, "he means aptitude." But I can't embarrass him by explaining. After a short silence, he asked enthusiastically, "Ain't it wonderful what they're doing for us guys, sending us to school?" "Well," I suggested, "the government feels that you did a lot for your country. It's the least your country can do for you." "Maybe," he drawled, "but what's fighting a few battles amount to if a fellow can get educated?" "I'm getting the big end of the deal, lady. I've made up my mind to study real hard. I don't want Uncle Sam to money thrown away on me." Later, we stood in the Fort Worth bus station. In his shirt pocket was the slip of paper on which I had written the directions for finding the school that was to give him his attitude test. With a strong, calloused hand, he gripped mine. "Thanks a million, ma'am. I feel like I'm already on my way to getting that schooling. Ain't it wonderful?" As I settled myself and my bags in a taxi, I began to review in my mind the gratitude and enthusiasm displayed by the prospective student. Why, I thought, he has the priceless ingredient for success, a right attitude. Perhaps he used the correct word after all. With this kind of an attitude, this young man will climb to the pinnacle of success. Without it, he could fumble along living a life of mediocrity. What kind of an attitude do we have? What would happen if we were to take an attitude test?